Can you do Season 2? Now we need Minecraft Story Mode Season 2. Do Season 2. Season 2 incoming. We are waiting for Season 2! Oh god, I think I just woke up the neighbors. I just yelled that at 2 a.m, bro. We are so cooked. Alright, so yeah, I made that Minecraft Story Mode video a few weeks ago, and those comments of people asking me to play Season 2 just keep going and going, which I absolutely love, and is the only reason I shelled out another $100 for this damn game sequel. Because it's still banned, as we all know. And when I got this notification from Amazon, I was a bit nervous I was gonna get scammed again. However, I didn't, thank the Lord. But on the copy of the game, it legit says the price it should sell for. They upmarked me $70, bro. What the f? Anyways, yes, today I am platinuming Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, which after getting every single trophy in the game, I have got to say that it is indeed a banger. The game has a total of 31 trophies inside with the platinum included. It spans across 5 different episodes and is actually easier than the first one, which we just love. I'm gonna bust a nut. This is also a part of my challenge to platinum pretty much every single notable single player game that I haven't already before I hit 800,000 subscribers, because I have no life, so make sure to drop a like and subscribe. So let's just jump right in. There isn't any stages to the platinum, of course, because it legit just requires you to play through the whole game, which I did in one session, by the way, because I have no social life. Yes, this is what I chose to do for 7 hours on a Friday night instead of hanging out with your sister. And as usual with tradition, let's just pause real quick and listen to the loading screens theme. Sounds almost as basic as that new KSI song he just made. That's crazy. Okay, I'm sorry. The game actually opens up with a little recap for anyone who decided to play this first instead of the first game, or for those kids whose mom has no idea what a sequel is. F in the chat. It then lets us play, picking up almost right after the first game ends, with all of the characters just lounging about in the order of the stone base. We also got joined by a new character who was in this game the whole time and serves as a great comic relief to the story. He's basically an idiot, is what I'm saying. But the town we are in is hosting a party for us because as heroes, we are just the coolest of all and get royal treatment. This was also the game's little tutorial credit moment that it loves to have every time an episode begins. There was also a lot of old character flashback nostalgia trips here referencing to the first game, and this one chick asked me to build a statue in honor of my greatness. So I chose to do the only reasonable thing you ever do when asked to build something in a video game, and I built a realistically sized cock and balls that she loved. To be expected.
That is some sweet work.
Oh my god!
Anyways, my goal here was to just greet other people and also simply just walk all the way through to the back and towards the mines to meet up with Petra because she is finally back in town after leaving supposedly. Once entering the mines, that also topped off the intro of the game and we got the first trophy of the day right here. However, once we entered the mine itself, we got instantly jumped by enemies and a combat section, a true classic. But this game being a sequel somehow managed to make the combat and game in general actually better. I know traditionally sequels are always worse, but I gotta say this one was near perfect. Just like the Joker's sequel. I'm just kidding. This game actually goes hard, unlike that joke of a film.
That's what I'm saying.
Side note, we met Petra right away down here also. She's looking fine as ever, at least for a ginger. This entire episode, by the way, mostly had us with her just running through the mines chasing after a mysterious creature in the form of a race. When posed with the option to save Petra from enemies or win said race, I chose the only sensible option to win the race. Gotta take a W wherever you can. Gas is $4 for me right now. I'm actually suffering. I need this. So yes, I did win the race. I think my decision to leave her worked out great because she's still here. Damn. Oh yeah, and that creature we were after was actually just a llama, which is awesome. That llama then led us right into a room which had the plot point for the entire game just dropped into our laps already. God, I love when a game just kicks it off aggressively. Speaking of aggressive things, Jesse just fisted this floating glove without even thinking about the repercussions, and we also got a trophy from that. This is the first time anyone ever got rewarded for fisting anything without consent, I imagine. But yeah, this is literally the plot for the entire game. We found a glowing glove that has cool powers in the underground of a cave. It also opened a hole in the floor that tried to eat us, so that's cool. Back on the surface, Petra then told us that she knew who to ask for help on the glove's origin, that being this lady who just has a lot of treasure in her possession, meaning of course that she is very smart. Turns out she was actually just a cocky bitch. Reminds me of... Anyway, she didn't want to help us because apparently she is rivals with Jesse. Even Jesse didn't know this. This is just like the Dan TDM KSI beef in a nutshell. But yeah, we broke into her palace to check out some of her treasures to confirm if she might know anything, and it turns out all the treasure she quote-unquote got herself was all purchased from other people. A true fake of all fakes. So we left her kingdom to head back to our own and search of another treasure hunting expert. On the way back though, a bunch of supercharged creepers just showed up from the floor and we had to battle them before earning yet again another trophy. The place we headed to next, by the way, was called Jack and Nerm's Adventure Emporium. Inside of it was a bunch of treasure just put everywhere the eye could see. Also, Jack and Nerm were here in addition, but who cares? You can see people on the street anywhere. And it's not often you get to see a diamond on display. Wait, that's actually not that impressive. You can get those pretty easily unless you're Keemstar. Long story short, inside the Emporium, we asked them for help and they said no first. That is, until we refused to leave them alone until they agreed to help us. That might be called harassment on second thought, who knows. But Jack ended up showing us the real map of the world that is hidden behind redstone wall mechanics, and on it was a single block that had nothing, signifying a place so scary that Jack was afraid to even map it. But like, for real though, I think not mapping it makes it more obvious that whatever. As you could guess, they agreed to go with us after all. Pretty sure them saying no was just an edging technique, I guess. New strategy, might have to try it out sometime. But Jack led us all the way to the origin of the glove, which was simply just an underwater temple. Honestly, I forgot what these are called. I haven't had my yearly Minecraft bender yet, and it's almost 2025. I think I need it. But we had to do numerous QuickTime events to get to the door and open it, letting us all in barely. But another trophy did pop, so that's awesome. Inside, we also got greeted immediately by giant Colossus stone statues, which is almost as frightening of a first impression as when the girl you're talking to has Hello Kitty posters on her wall. But that room actually had nothing, seeing as it was just the intro lobby. The real room of importance was after, and it had 2 levitating sea guardians inside of it trying to laser our little nuts off. We then obviously had to drain the water up and just use sponges to do so. Jack here also had an existential crisis because it was scary or something. I mean, shiver me timbers would cry me a river, man. Oh yeah, there was also a dude sitting in one of these redstone cells on the ceiling. Must be the quiet kid hangout place or something, I don't know. There was then a puzzle that had us just placing blocks to open this door, and it was super easy to do. Once completed, it then unlocked and turned off the defensive mechanisms in the place, which released that prisoner from earlier down to the floor. And it was just some old dude, so who cares? I was expecting Puff Daddy to fall down, that's crazy. But then we finally reached the real room we were after, and there was 2 monuments just sitting inside of it that had different powers to choose from. Now the first one I saw had arrows and looked more dangerous than the other one, so I just chose that one right away, and that sort of ended the chapter with another trophy. The next chapter then picked up and almost entirely consisted of us just being attacked by the guardians of the temple for the entire time. There's a lot of big hard men trying to touch us, and they did, but we escaped and went back to the home base. That is before one of those giant colossal enemies just showed up right after us because, I mean, he followed us here. Yeah, we got a trophy for that episode's cliffhanger ending also. Next up was the second episode of the game, of course, and this is when the game's sort of flow begins, to be honest. The real premise of Minecraft Story Mode Season 2 is that we are battling with an admin the whole time. Ever heard of the 4th wall? Yeah, and it sort of goes how you'd expect. We just get our asses kicked every time we fight him. It's super unfortunate. But this first battle against him in the hometown, we did actually take him out because he was still operating with a dumbass machine that had a giant weak point. Upon doing that, I also got a trophy, by the way. And for the time being, the admin is now gone, so we then got to do some rebuilding of the hometown that was just decimated. And unlike the US government, we helped the devastated town with full support, and I built them another penis statue, very honorably. Sadly though, right after, the admin did show up again, except this time he was dressed up as a snowman with an English accent. At least it wasn't a Russian furry. He also made this evil winter start happening and said the only way to stop it was to face his giant ice palace challenge and steal some clock. So, I mean, we had to do that. The rest of this chapter then just had us walk there and chat it up, really raising our charisma stats, and here's the trophy from it. Next chapter was then another very quick one and just had us again talk about our feelings before being sent very dramatically into the palace for the challenges to begin with another trophy pop. We then began the challenges as you would expect, and the first one just had us do this bow and arrow challenge, having to avoid everything except the monsters. And it was honestly super easy, which the admin joked about and then just took away our floor, giving us an insane parkour section. The old dude also totally took one to the dome and hilariously fell to his own demise. That was actually beautiful. There was then a boss battle against the snow golem, but it really wasn't hard, so I took him out and then we ripped off his head and shoved it into the wall, letting us through to the next challenge. And it was actually just a room that had those floating enemies in it. I have no clue what they are called, like, at all. But if you get hit by their little spit, you start levitating to the ceiling, and one of our boys got stuck up here, so I, being the hero, tried to save him, and we both ate shit. However, he actually got taken away to his demise as well. A sad fate. But the solution to this puzzle was actually to just break through this wall and float up the easy way. Wish we thought of that before the dude just, yeah, whatever, here's the trophy. And sadly, due to us cheating the challenges, that was actually it for the episode, with this final chapter just having us chat yet again and then getting the plot twist that the admin was actually the old dude this entire time. I cannot believe this. Just kidding, I definitely knew it. So yeah, we pretty much just made him really mad and he then sent us to a prison essentially, also ending the episode with this trophy. So then it picks back up with us in prison being escorted around by the warden who loves riding the admin like nothing else, bro. And the first chance we got at escaping, we took it and ran with it, like a bad love story. But we got caught as you would expect, and yeah, back to prison. Here's that first chapter's trophy. And I'm not gonna lie, this game is great, but this episode was kind of bland in my opinion for the most part. But then again, I do also need constant action or else I get bored because I'm mentally challenged. So I'm just gonna recap quickly what happened in these chapters since they are all very similar and usually just had a lot of talking. Chapter 2 had us just chat with prisoners everywhere, and we also got appointed the job title of an advisor, which is like the prison prison guard pretty much. But we were trying to rank up to get closer to the admin down here, and we did this by making a cookie for our friend so he had a full stomach. I don't know why, bro, don't ask me. That also led us to find some secret room a prisoner had with a mushroom cow, and we then got asked by the warden to shear off the cow's mushrooms, making it a normal cow. And this was so serious for some reason that we got promoted and sent to a lower level. Again, that makes no sense, but okay. In this new level, by the way, we were just trying to open a very ominous door that leads to prisoner X, who is the local legend in the prison. Probably because of a few shower incidents, to be honest, but who knows. Anyways, once we finally got it open, the admin just showed up and ruined all the fun. He also ended up turning into Jesse to go back home and steal all of Jesse's friends and essentially life because, I mean, he's miserable. But I got a trophy, so I'm happy. The next chapter was then pretty fast, but it had us find prisoner X. Turns out she was an admin at one point also and got imprisoned in a cage that will blow up if there isn't a person standing on the pressure plates inside of it. And I got asked to decide who stays behind, that llama from the intro or the villager friend that we have. And I mean, I chose the llama because, well, dude, it's a llama. I thought it was an easy choice to be honest, but maybe I am evil, who knows. Anyways, the next chapter then had us traditionally do a big old prison break, which had a ton of quick time events, and I'm now satisfied. Good job, game, you brought it back. Sadly though, that ended and then led us into like a 2-minute long chapter 6, which just had the admin dig us under the bedrock and have us go to the original world below. Yes, you heard me right, there is an entire world below the normal one. Now that's crazy. And this next episode then had us with the overall objective of finding the secret weapon to take down the admin. Because so far he is seeming to be just a god, and that's great for our efforts. But I got the first trophy here once we all piled into a minecart to go further into the world. Turns out that was almost a horrible idea right away since a giant enderman showed up and destroyed the cart's path. Me and Jack then barely caught the ledge and met a bunch of locals which basically just threatened us as we were already dying and stole our swords as a fair trade for saving our life. This is legit what government taxes be making me feel like, bro. Oh yeah, and this next chapter then just had us chat it up again, getting exposed to some story lore and moments. Long story short, I found out that the secret weapon is hidden in a cabin. Not very specific, but it's a start. Sadly though, in the next chapter, Jesse got jumped by an evil assassin and died. No, I'm just kidding. That was actually Ivor sent to kill us, but he's the homie, so he snapped out of it and let us go free. I love that crusty old man. Anyways, the next chapter had us being forced into yet again another challenge set up by the admin. This one was crazy like all the other ones, except this time there was more fire, so that's nice. Real appeasing to my eyes, I can't lie. I also barely did it, as you can tell by the increasing red on my screen signifying that I am dying inside. We did get congratulated with fireworks though, so at least the celebration was trophy worthy. That challenge, by the way, was all just to prove that we deserved to get to the sacred cabin, which was stuffed inside here very conspicuously. Inside the cabin, I did also have to do a quick puzzle, but once solved, there was a book inside that told us the secret weapon was actually a code called #potato451. How amazing. What the hell are we supposed to do with that? Oh yeah, the chapter then ended off with us trying to escape the old world because all hell was breaking loose. So we just hopped in a portal and dipped abruptly like the way she left me. Chapter 6 was then real quick, and that's a common occurrence in this game, just having us literally talk for a minute before showing a cliffhanger and the final trophy. This then began the final episode of the game, which had Jesse and the gang break into our hometown to stop the admin and save the day, you know, as you do. And the first chapter was so quick I can't even explain what happened, it just finished so fast. Reminds me of something else. But then the next chapter actually did have some plot to it, and we sort of plotted out the game plan with everyone in secret before really heading in to get the job done. And once back in reality, I got that chapter's trophy upon entering the town for real. We then actually did some real work, and I had to sneak around the entire town without being caught by the admin who was avidly looking for us. All to reach that bitch-ass girl from earlier who I hate with a passion. However, she also hates the admin, so she decided to help the cause and gave us all worker disguises. This then let us work in peace, and I had to craft a firework to then use when the fireworks show for the admin was happening, and I flew all the way to his floating base with it, getting another trophy in the process of my hardworking effort. There was then a quick chatting chapter with Lucas, who was unconvinced we were the real Jesse, so yeah, I mean, we convinced him, and here's that trophy. We then finally made it into the behind the scenes of the admin's world and also to the main terminal to enter the secret weapon code. And upon entering it, we didn't just save the day immediately because that isn't reality, of course. Instead, we just got given a golden glove that is like all powerful or something and can defeat the admin. Also, a trophy was given in addition. It is now the final chapter finally, as you could guess, and it had us use that golden glove against him in numerous fights, which is honestly a lot of fun. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, I might have failed a fight here and died, meaning I lost that Minecraft story mode. I'm not proud of myself, bro. But yeah, the fight ended as you would guess, with us eventually punching him so hard he lost all of his powers and turned back into his normal self. Another fucking ginger. So I left his ass to die, and then we all escaped as his realm came crumbling down. Keep that soulless creature out of our world, bro. And then there was a little chat section after where we just tied off some conversations with people. I also got posed with the game ending decision to go with Petra and explore, or stay back with the boys and probably live a happier life. So I chose to stay with the boys. Ain't no hoe ever gonna ruin my life again. That was then the ending of the game with the final trophy and the platinum trophy pop along with it. So that was the Minecraft Story Mode Season 2 Platinum Trophy experience. I want to thank you all first off for the amazing support on the Story Mode video. That was actually insane, so thank you for that. Anyways, though, season 2 of this game was a banger. I enjoyed it a lot, and I would also say it was better than the first one in terms of story flow. There was a bit of a slow section in the middle, but you kind of have that with everything, so it is what it is. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Rating the game out of 10, I'm going to give Story Mode Season 2 a solid 9 out of 10. Not sure this game could have been any bit better, so that's pretty awesome. Also, I do have a very big video I've been working on, which is why I haven't been posting every day. I know. I am so sorry. I'll do better in the future. Please forgive me.